When most people think about farm work animals, they picture a strong horse pulling heavy loads across a field. But on small farms, many livestock owners are choosing donkeys instead. So, which animal actually makes more sense for a small acreage farm? A horse gives you more speed and power. A donkey gives you lower costs and easier care. But the real answer depends on the kind of work you do every day. In this video, you'll see how donkeys and horses compare in strength, feeding costs, temperament, and practical farm use. And by the end, you'll know which one could be the better partner for your homestead. First, let's look at the strengths. When it comes to raw strength, horses usually have the advantage. A horse can pull heavier equipment, move faster, and cover more ground in less time. That makes horses useful for larger gardens, tougher soil, or jobs that require more power. If you need to plow fields or haul heavy loads often, a horse can save you time and energy. Many horse breeds were developed specifically for farm labor. Their larger bodies and stronger muscles allow them to handle demanding work more easily than most donkeys. But don't underestimate a donkey. Even though donkeys are smaller, they are extremely tough for their size. They may not move as fast as horses, but they can work steadily for long periods without tiring quickly. On rocky land or rough trails, donkeys are often more careful with their footing as well. This calm and steady approach is one reason many small farmers like them. A donkey may not rush through a task, but it often stays focused and dependable. Climate also matters. Donkeys usually handle heat and dry conditions better than horses because their ancestors came from desert regions. In hotter environments, that can become a major advantage for small farms. So, while horses may win in pure pulling power, donkeys often win in efficiency and endurance, but strength is only one part of the equation. For many farmers, the real deciding factor comes down to daily costs. For small acreage farmers, feeding costs can make a huge difference over time. Horses usually need more food each day because of their larger size and higher energy levels. Many working horses require quality hay, grains, and extra nutrition to stay healthy and strong. If feed prices rise, keeping a horse can become expensive fairly quickly. Donkeys are often much cheaper to feed. They are very efficient animals and can maintain good condition on less feed than a horse. In fact, overfeeding is actually a common problem with donkeys. Rich pasture and too much grain can cause weight and health issues. This lower feed requirement is one reason donkeys appeal to many homesteaders trying to reduce farm expenses. Housing can also be simpler for donkeys. Both animals need shelter from rain, cold, and extreme heat, but donkeys are generally hardy and low maintenance when cared for properly. Of course, neither animal is completely cheap to own. Both need regular hoof trimming, clean water, veterinary care, and daily attention. And if an animal is poorly trained or neglected, it can quickly become difficult to manage no matter which species you choose. Still, when you compare long-term costs, donkeys usually require less money to maintain than horses. And for many small farmers, that matters just as much as pulling power. But farm work is not only about strength or cost. The animal's personality can completely change your daily experience on the farm. A farm animal can be strong and hardworking, but if it is difficult to handle, daily chores can quickly become stressful. Horses are known for being intelligent, energetic, and highly responsive. With proper training, they can learn commands quickly and perform many different tasks. This is one reason horses have been used for farming and transportation for centuries. But horses can also become nervous easily. If a horse gets frightened, its first reaction is often to run. Loud sounds, sudden movement, or unfamiliar situations can sometimes cause panic. For experienced handlers, this may not be a major issue, but beginners may find large horses harder to control. Donkeys behave differently. Instead of reacting quickly, donkeys usually stop and assess a situation first. Some people mistake this behavior for stubbornness, but in many cases, the donkey is simply being cautious. This calm nature can make donkeys easier and safer for some small farms, especially around children or smaller livestock. Many farmers also appreciate how steady and patient donkeys can be during routine work. At the same time, donkeys are independent thinkers. If they do not trust a person or feel unsafe, they may refuse to move completely. Unlike horses, forcing them rarely works well. Because of this, building trust and consistency is important when training a donkey. In the end, both animals can become excellent farm partners. The better choice often depends on your experience level, patience, and the type of work you expect them to do. And speaking of farm work, some farmers choose these animals for a reason that has nothing to do with pulling carts or plowing fields. On a small farm, work animals often do much more than pull equipment. Horses are extremely useful when you need to move quickly across larger areas. They can carry riders, transport supplies, and help with heavier jobs around the property. For farms with bigger fields or longer distances, that speed can save a lot of time. Horses are also helpful for moving cattle or checking livestock across pastures, especially on farms with more open land. Some farmers also use horses for trail riding or recreation, giving them value beyond farm work alone. Donkeys, however, shine in smaller and more controlled environments. Because they are compact and careful, donkeys work well in tight spaces, narrow paths, and rough terrain. Their calm behavior also makes them useful around other livestock. In fact, many farmers use donkeys as livestock guardians. A protective donkey may chase away stray dogs, coyotes, or other small predators that threaten sheep and goats. Donkeys can also help manage pasture growth by grazing on weeds and rough plants that some animals avoid. This makes them surprisingly useful for land management on smaller homesteads. And while horses may handle heavier tasks better, many small farms simply do not need that level of power every day. That's why the best animal often depends less on strength and more on how your farm actually operates. So, after comparing power, costs, temperament, and daily use, which animal truly gives the greater value for small acreage farming? At the end of the day, choosing between a donkey and a horse comes down to your farm's real needs. If your property requires heavy pulling, faster travel, or larger scale work, a horse may be the better fit. Horses give you more strength, more speed, and greater versatility for demanding jobs. But that extra power usually comes with higher costs. You'll likely spend more on feed, housing, and overall care. Horses also require more training and handling experience, especially for beginners. Donkeys offer a very different advantage. They are smaller, calmer, and often much cheaper to maintain over time. For light hauling, small gardens, basic farm chores, and livestock protection, a donkey may handle the job perfectly well without the higher expense of a horse. Many homesteaders also appreciate their hardy nature and low-maintenance lifestyle. Of course, there is no perfect choice for every farm. Some farmers even keep both animals together. A horse may handle larger jobs while a donkey helps guard livestock and manage smaller daily tasks. In the end, the best work animal is the one that matches your land, budget, and farming style. So, when it comes to small acreage farming, both donkeys and horses bring valuable strengths to the table. Horses give you power, speed, and the ability to handle heavier workloads. Donkeys offer lower costs, calm behavior, and impressive endurance for their size. For some farms, a horse is the clear winner. For others, a hard-working donkey may actually be the smarter long-term choice. The good news is that both animals have helped farmers for generations, and with proper care, either one can become a reliable partner on the farm. Now the question is up to you. If you were building your own small homestead tomorrow, would you choose the strength of a horse or the practicality of a donkey?